Hi everyone, in this short video I'm going to be showing you how to arrange our Faux Deluxe artichoke arrangement. This is just like a really beautiful, vibrant green that suits every single season. It's just like a real classic. And I'm going to be using our Bilderston vase for this. I like putting this one in the centre of these chairs here just to make a nice focal point. And it has a 12 centimetre neck opening, so on the kind of medium, not too wide, not too tight for these. And as always, I'm going to start by putting in the foliage. So you've got 3 stems of our lovely green eucalyptus. And I'm just going to kneel down. Now lengthwise, for these are obviously far too tall. So I'm just going to be bending these down so that it starts around about here. So you can have a little measure up against your vase, and then just bend that stem down until you've got a nice kind of hairpin bend. And then the next one, similar height, but I don't want it exactly the same, so maybe a tiny bit taller than that one. Round about there. And then the last one, this is one that I've actually used and cut before for a glass vase, so this will be the shortest one. And always put any shorter stems like kind of towards the front. And don't worry too much at this point because things are naturally going to move until we get kind of everything else in position. So next I'm going to add in our wild oat grass, which have these lovely kind of grass spears on them. And we've got 3 of these. So varying heights, and you can probably see here, I've used this stem for shooting. Give the stems like a little wiggle, like they'll arrive to you and they'll be like completely poker straight upright, but just by kind of manipulating them a little bit, just makes them feel even more realistic. So I want one to go round about there, again measuring it against the vase and just nestling it throughout those lovely eucalyptus leaves, just so that it feels quite naturally random. So if I had another one there, you can see that probably just looks a little bit too symmetrical, but just by bringing this down ever so slightly and maybe tweaking some of this eucalyptus into there, it all of a sudden just feels a bit more natural. So not exactly the same height. Nice tight bend and popping it in there. And then for this last one, I want this one to come kind of almost forwards towards the front and much, much lower than the others, around about there. So a real big bend for that one. And you can play around with your eucalyptus. These are really great stems because they're fully wired and they do hold the position in wherever you want to put them when you're faffing with them like I am now. Next, I'm going to pop in our lovely artichoke heads. Now these are kind of like what I would consider the focal flowers of this arrangement. So really, really important that these aren't all facing in exactly the same direction for this arrangement and that they're at varying heights. And what I really love about these is that, like with most of our stems, but particularly on these artichoke, it makes all the difference to kind of really eke out the bend in the stem, because then you get different heights and kind of positions. So this first one, I'm actually going to leave it kind of full height and almost have it facing off to the direction over there a little bit, and just pop it in there, round about. And then this next one I'm also going to leave at full height, but I'm going to make sure that it's kind of completely standing upright so that it doesn't look exactly the same and that it's facing in this direction, and almost bringing it forward a little bit, and just that slight adjustment just makes them feel different. And then this last one I'm just going to bring down quite low and have it almost kind of on the edge of the vase. These have some chunky stems, so just work them in. I don't want it in the middle of the vase because I feel like that would look a bit too symmetrical. So just making sure that it's slightly off center, like so. And then last but by no means least are these lovely delicate white wax flower. They just add a little bit of kind of life and just a pretty delicate white splash in there. So again, these are so effortless to use because they just kind of do all the hard work for you with their lovely kind of splayed out stems. But I've left that one at full height. And then this next one, maybe just bend this one down a little bit. On the other side, like that. And the last one, we're going to have much lower. So you probably feel like there's starting to be a theme where you have like your two taller ones and then a lower one towards the front. And just letting that kind of do all the hard work for you. And then I'm just going to take a big step back and just make sure that I'm kind of happy with the positioning of everything. I feel like there's a bit of a gap going on here, but that's probably because I've been working on it. Working on it in not wanting to get right in front of the camera. So I would suggest that when you're doing this, you kind of work in front of the arrangement. And really simple fix, just by bringing that eucalyptus forward and almost bending it really, bending each of the stems, it really does help to mitigate that kind of gap there. And I'm even just going to move this grass up in there, something like that maybe. But just make sure that you're standing back and always kind of looking at the different angles. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with that. A very lovely all year round lush green arrangement. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy arranging yours. I would love to see them if you give it a go. And yeah, I'll see you again soon.